everyone to The Gentleman Show. In this week's episode of #Askchico, the Kenyans have really woken up. We're really surprised by all the questions. We're not wasting any time. Let's just get right into it. So talking about Kenya, we have a very interesting question that comes to us straight from Kilimani Moms. Now, Kilimani Moms, for those of you who don't know, it's a very active, interactive Facebook page created by women who were in Kilimani but has expanded to the whole of Kenya. So this person who sent in this question is probably not the person who actually posted it on Kilimani Moms, but we'll take it as it is. I've been married for 1 year now, having my first child. I'm 7 months pregnant. And until 4 months ago, my husband would come home on time. He would tell me where he will be and when he'd be back. And even call me if he's running late. Now he tells me he'll be working out of town on the day he's leaving and comes back without informing me on the return date. Sometimes he'll be home late at night after a night out or say he was at the office. If I ask, he doesn't really talk to me anymore, unless asking for socks, for food, etc. The other day, he even refused to drop me at the hospital for my checkup, as he said he was in a hurry, but instead he dropped me at the bus stop. Yesterday, when I asked him to help me tie my shoes, he told me to behave as if he wasn't there and to figure it out. So this is where the question stops. There's no real question, but I think if any woman is going through that in pregnancy, I think it's a very difficult situation. And whoever you are, if you're watching this, I really want to encourage you. And I know that what you're going through is not easy, because normally when a woman is pregnant in reality, like how things are supposed to be, whoever made you pregnant, if he's alive, if he's present, it's his responsibility to be next to you, to support you, to encourage you, to help you go through this phase. Because pregnancy, for someone like me who has many children, I have 3 daughters from my first marriage. My wife currently has 2 children from her first marriage who are also girls, and then we're having a boy. So I again am going through that same process of where I help my wife wear her shoes, I help her put lotion on her feet, because I know that this is a process. This is something that is not gonna last forever. So I need to help her as much as possible go through this so that she can be able to, give birth to our child in the best of conditions. But not all men are conscious of these things. Some men are very selfish. They think of themselves, they're more preoccupied by themselves. And when their wives or their girlfriends are going through pregnancy, they feel like she's asking too much of them, while they forget that she didn't get pregnant alone. And even if you tell them, oh, she didn't get pregnant alone, they don't have that sense of, responsibility intuitively. But something else I would like to tell you is that subconsciously, a lot of men think that if they bow down to help you wear your shoes, that they're actually losing power, that they're giving the power away to you. So that's why someone can actually tell you, oh, what if I wasn't here? How would you do it? They feel like that's a way of telling you to empower yourself, but in reality, they don't get that. In those vulnerable moments, they need you. You need them, and they also need to be present in your life. So I'm very sorry that you're going through this, and if there's anyone else who's going through things like this, it shows you a sign of what type of person you're with. And you can't just say that until 4 months ago, when you're 7 months pregnant, and say that from the time you got pregnant to when you were 3 months pregnant, everything was all right. There must have been signs of things were not going right. And maybe you're also, you're the person who's responsible for what's happening. Maybe that you forced your way into this relationship, whereas you knew that this guy was not interested. Maybe that you knew from a long time ago that this guy was selfish and that he wasn't the best person for you, but you insisted in being with him, and you have to bear that burden today. If not, you also have a sign of what type of father he will be, because you can't just abandon the mother of your child when she's pregnant, not be there present for her, not care for what she needs, and then immediately when she has the child, you just show up for the child. If he shows up for the child, it tells you what type of relationship he has with you. But if he's not there for you and he's not there for the child, you already know what type of future is ahead. So you have to understand if this is someone who it is worth you spending more of your time with him in the future of the relationship. If you're still pregnant, I know it's a very, very difficult phase at the moment. So I would advise you to focus on, being as positive as possible. Surround yourself with people who can support you. Probably move to your parents' house if you can, whereas you can have people who can be, next to you. But in reality, this is not something nice to hear. And I'm very sorry. And to him, if he's also watching, take your responsibilities, man. You need to take care of your wife. And if she's pregnant, you need to take care of her even more. It will only make you a greater man, and your children will respect you even more when they know that you were there present for their mom. And I myself have been through that, whereas with my ex-wife and when she was having our last child, I wasn't present. But I wasn't present because I didn't want to be present. I wasn't present because what I was pursuing was different than what she wanted me to pursue and the type of person she wanted me to be. It was her choice that, she stays in the city, and it was my choice that I stay on the farm because I wanted to build something which would be long lasting. But it didn't work out because our visions were different. But I was there the day she gave birth. And every time I came to the city, I was present by her side, and I was doing my best at every moment to be present in her life and to support her in that transition that she was going through. So there's no excuse. There's really no excuse for you not being present for the woman who's bearing your child. Because that child one day will take care of you. And how would you feel if that child treated you the same way as you're treating their mother today? I don't think you would like it. So to any man who's not responsible for their pregnant wife, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. But take your responsibility. If you take your responsibility, then you're behaving like a gentleman. So thank you for this question. I'm sure there's been a lot of comments on the Facebook page, Kilimani Moms, of a lot of people who are saying all type of stuff. But just listen to the positive things. Don't focus on the negative. Just focus on the positive. Very soon you have a beautiful baby. Make sure that the baby is not born being stressed because of the stress that you're going through right now. Wish you all the best. So our next question comes straight again from Kenya. The guy's name is Kennedy, and here's what he says. I am 24 and dating a lady who's 32. It was cool in the beginning because it made me feel like a man, and she really was a good provider. She was a good provider. Like, seriously, a man says she was a good provider. Okay. But now she's controlling everything I say and do, and I feel like I don't have any space to myself. I want to tell her it's finished, but she's also been helping me financially, and I don't want to lose out on that as well. What do you advise me, man? Well, first of all, Kennedy, you're not a man to me. You're not a man to me from the moment where you, in your psyche, you believe that it's normal to live off of another person. Not even a woman, but just another person. I don't mean if you're going through challenges and there's people out there helping you, but your life being dependent upon another individual, you are not a man to me. So that's the first thing that I'll advise you to do is, first of all, start working to become independent, not have to depend neither on her, neither on anyone else. Become self-dependent, self-reliant. Find something that you can do, that you can bring value to the world, and that you can build a profession from. I suppose maybe you finish university or you're still in university, so you're still young. You still have a lot of dynamism. But in regards to your question with your lady who's 32, if in the beginning it made you feel like a man, there must have been something that you found interesting in her at that time. And so it may be two ways. One, you manipulated her because she needed someone, and if that's the case, she also needs to get her stuff together. Because if she gets into an emotionally dependent relationship with someone who's 8 years younger than her, she should definitely expect to be taken advantage of. Because there's no sense in dating people who either you don't have the same mentality or the same understanding of life, or maybe even you don't have the same needs. If you don't have the same needs and you're even of the same age, you won't be able to build a solid relationship. But if she's now become controlling to you, it's actually not that she's become controlling. You have become dependent. The fact that you've become dependent upon her, that's why she's now controlling you. This relationship is going nowhere. This is not going to go anywhere. You're wasting your youth. She's wasting a beautiful part of her life with you. But if we go deep into her, I'm sure she must have been broken somewhere. I'm sure someone must have done something to her that made her lose self-confidence, that made her, lack trust in herself. So actually, I would advise you to send her this link and have her watch this video so that she can build herself back. Because if she doesn't build herself back, you're not gonna be able to progress as long as you're in this relationship. Let me assure you of that. Because people like you who do things like this, you don't go far. Because your whole life is always dependent on other people. So man, don't expect me to give you any advice to tell you, oh, you're the man, things are going well, you're not gonna be all right continuing in this way. What you need to do is have an honest conversation with her and tell her that, you've been, either you tell her the truth, I've been using you for all this time, take the consequences, and then the relationship is finished, or have her watch this video. Have her watch this video so that she can put her life together, because she is lacking something. There's something she's missing, and that she found that in you, but you haven't been able to fulfill that. And you won't be able to fulfill that because she needs to find that within herself. So thank you for your question, but I don't think I can help you much. Thank you for watching the show. I hope you enjoyed it and that it inspired you in many ways. If you want to get in touch with us, just send us an email at askchico@thegentlemenshow.com. You can also connect with us on social media using the hashtag Askchico on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and share it with your friends and family. And I can't wait to see you again next Saturday.
What is your purpose? And if you achieve that purpose, what type of person, what type of people will you be around?